February 13, 2026. The world wakes up to a pivotal moment in international relations as headlines everywhere flash with urgent updates from Washington. President Trump has issued a sweeping ultimatum to over 150 countries: agree to new trade deals with the US within weeks, or face steep new tariffs. The message is clear. The era of leniency is over, and the United States is demanding immediate action. The administration's patience has run out after a 90-day grace period yielded little progress. Despite months of back and forth, most nations have failed to meet US expectations, prompting this dramatic escalation. Trump's message is blunt: no more delays, no more negotiations without results. He insists that the time for talk is over and that only concrete agreements will be accepted going forward. This marks a sharp escalation in his America First trade agenda, aiming to replace old deals with ones he claims will better serve American workers. The administration argues that previous agreements have left the US at a disadvantage, and that bold action is needed to restore fairness and prosperity at home. The threat of tariffs is now the main tool to force countries to the table. These tariffs could impact everything from electronics to automobiles, raising prices and disrupting supply chains worldwide. The world is watching. Will nations negotiate or risk losing access to the massive US market? For many countries, the stakes could not be higher, as their economies depend heavily on trade with America. The administration is betting that economic pain will motivate faster action than diplomacy ever could. Financial markets are already reacting, with investors bracing for volatility and uncertainty in the weeks ahead. For many countries, the choice is clear: make a deal or pay the price. Behind closed doors, negotiators are scrambling to find common ground before the deadline hits. This ultimatum is reshaping the global trade landscape overnight. Centuries-old alliances and trading patterns are being tested as nations weigh their options. The stakes are high and the clock is ticking. Every hour brings new developments, and the world holds its breath to see who will blink first. America's economic leverage is now front and center in global negotiations. As the deadline approaches, the world braces for a new chapter in international trade, one defined by hard choices, high risks, and the unmistakable pressure of American power. So, what exactly is on the table in these high-stakes negotiations? The world is watching as the details unfold. The Trump administration has put forward a bold proposal: a universal tariff, set at either 10% or 15%, to be imposed on imports from most of the targeted countries. This isn't just a minor adjustment, it's a sweeping change that would impact nearly every product crossing US borders from these nations. This marks a dramatic shift away from the current system, which is a complicated patchwork of different rates and exceptions. The new plan aims to simplify everything, making it clear and direct for all parties involved. But there's a catch. If a deal isn't reached, tariffs could skyrocket to as high as 50%. That's not just a price hike. It's a near ban for many foreign products, threatening to empty store shelves and disrupt supply chains. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick are now traveling the globe, delivering this message directly to America's trading partners. Their mission is clear: communicate the seriousness of these proposed changes. The administration isn't bluffing. Official notifications are already being sent out to foreign governments, embassies, and trade representatives, making it clear that the US is ready to act. The new system is straightforward: accept the new terms and benefit from a lower tariff, or refuse and face crippling penalties. It's a two-tiered approach designed to leave no room for ambiguity. The ultimate goal is to force quick decisions and put an end to what the White House calls decades of unfair trade practices. The administration wants results, and they want them fast. This aggressive approach is bound to stir controversy. Longtime allies are already expressing anger and concern, and heated debates are erupting both at home and abroad. The message from Washington is unmistakable: act now or pay later. The pressure is on for countries to make a choice. For many countries, the economic consequences could be severe. Economists warn of potential market crashes, job losses, and a ripple effect that could impact industries worldwide. The administration believes that only bold, decisive action can fix the long-standing trade imbalance. They see this as a necessary step to protect American jobs and industries. The world's trading partners are now officially on notice. The countdown has begun, and the next moves will shape the future of global trade for years to come. These tariffs won't just hit foreign companies, they'll hit American wallets too. Every time you head to the store, you could feel the impact, whether you're shopping for groceries, clothes, or electronics. The effects of these new policies will be felt not just by big corporations, but by everyday people trying to make ends meet. Higher import taxes mean higher prices on everyday goods, phones, shoes, groceries, and more. Even basic necessities could see price hikes, making it harder for families to stretch their budgets. The cost of living, already a concern for many, could rise even further as these tariffs take effect. With over 150 countries targeted, price hikes could be felt across nearly every aisle. From fresh produce to household essentials, few products will be untouched. The sheer scale of these tariffs means that almost everyone will notice the difference at checkout. For families on tight budgets, this could mean real hardship. Every dollar counts, and rising prices may force tough choices, cutting back on meals out, skipping family activities, or even sacrificing healthier food options to save money. American businesses relying on imported materials will also face rising costs, potentially leading to layoffs or higher prices for their own products. Small businesses, in particular, may struggle to absorb these new expenses, putting jobs and livelihoods at risk. The ripple effect could slow economic growth as consumers cut back and companies delay investments. When people spend less, businesses earn less, and that can lead to a cycle of reduced hiring and even more cautious spending. While the administration aims to protect U.S. industry, the immediate impact could be economic pain for both consumers and businesses. The hope is for long-term benefits, but the short-term reality may be challenging for many. The path to fair trade may come with a hefty price tag for everyone. As the nation pursues new trade policies, the burden will be shared by households and companies alike. The question remains, will the long-term gains outweigh the short-term costs? Experts are divided, and only time will tell if these sacrifices will pay off. For now, Americans should brace for higher bills and tighter budgets. The coming months may test the resilience of families and businesses across the country. The stakes are personal and immediate. For millions, the effects of these tariffs will be felt in everyday life, making this a story that touches us all. The president's tariff threats have rattled global markets. Investors crave stability, but shifting trade policies create chaos. Stock markets swing wildly with every new announcement. For many countries, the prospect of 50% tariffs is an economic nightmare. The fear of a global trade war is real, with nations considering retaliation. Uncertainty is freezing investment and slowing growth worldwide. A slowdown in one region can quickly spread, thanks to our interconnected economies. Until deals are struck, markets will remain volatile and businesses cautious. The world is holding its breath, waiting for clarity or the next shock. The stakes are global, and the risks are rising. The Trump administration's strategy is use tariffs as leverage to force quick deals. Traditional, years-long negotiations are out. Deadlines and pressure are in. The White House is pushing a standardized agreement, take it or face tariffs. Treasury and Commerce secretaries are leading the charge, signaling this is a top priority. This is a sharp break from the slow, compromise-driven deals of the past. The administration is betting most countries will concede rather than lose access to the U.S. market. It's a high-stakes gamble, rewrite global trade rules, or risk economic conflict. The message is simple: comply or pay. The world's response will shape the future of trade. The clock is ticking for everyone. Negotiating with 150 countries at once is unprecedented and nearly impossible. Past successes with the UK and China came from focused, one-on-one talks. Now, the administration is trying to apply a one-size-fits-all model to a wildly diverse group. Real trade deals are complex, covering everything from agriculture to intellectual property. Rushing this process risks weak agreements or outright failure. Each country has unique needs. A standard deal may not work for all. Progress has been slow, and skepticism is growing. Many nations face the threat of tariffs with little hope of a quick resolution. The gap between rhetoric and reality is widening. The world waits to see if this bold approach can actually deliver results. For businesses, the tariff standoff means chaos. Companies can't plan investments, hiring, or expansion when costs might change overnight. Global supply chains are at risk, with critical parts potentially jumping 50% in price. Some may lay off workers or delay projects, rippling through the economy. The uncertainty is a major drag on growth and innovation. Business leaders crave predictability, but the rules keep shifting. Until trade disputes are settled, this cloud will hang over the economy. Growth, jobs, and investment are all on hold. The business world is waiting for stability and answers. At the core of Trump's tariff push is a promise: protect American jobs and industries. The administration argues tariffs will level the playing field, making U.S. goods more competitive. The goal is to reduce imports, shrink the trade deficit, and bring manufacturing back home. Tariffs are also seen as a way to pressure other countries to open their markets to American exports. Critics warn of higher prices and trade wars, but the administration insists short-term pain is worth long-term gain. For Trump, tariffs aren't just a tactic, they're a mission to restore American strength. The vision: a self-reliant, prosperous America. The debate: is this the path to security or a risky gamble? The Trump administration's ultimatum is reshaping global trade. They argue the old system failed American workers, and only tough action can fix it. Tariffs are the chosen weapon to force change and prioritize U.S. interests. The vision: more American-made goods, more jobs, and a stronger economy. Higher prices and market turmoil are seen as temporary costs for long-term gain. The administration frames this as a patriotic duty, a fight for economic sovereignty. The world is watching. Will this bold strategy deliver prosperity or spark new conflicts? The answer will define the next era of global trade.